Can we get a spell check on the
P-E-L-A-D-O phobia.
Okay.
P-E-L-A-D-O phobia. Nick?
What is your arm?
No, I'm sorry. It's Vanessa, you got anything?
No.
All right, it's your hair. It's people lacking hair. It's the fear of bald people.
Bald people.
Yeah. Alrighty, so that is going to close out the first round. We're going to get our points totaled up, and we will be right back. We're going to take a look at some of those perfect pets in need of adoption from the Cooley Region Humane Society right after this.
Meet Zach, a 3-year-old Shar-Pei mix. He's very smart, active, affectionate, and ready for kisses. Have a hole in your heart? Patches can fix it. She's a curious 1-year-old medium-haired cat. She loves to be around others and wants a place to call her own. Watch out, here's Vivian. She's a 4-year-old house-trained border collie mix. She's very sweet, gentle, and will catch your heart.
For more about adoption for these pets or others, contact the Cooley Region Humane Society at 781-4014.
All right, welcome back to Get Classy. Again, the number for the Cooley Region Humane Society is 781-4014. We've had our judges in the back working so hard totaling up these points, and what we've got right now is we've got Nick at the bottom with 600 points. And we've got second, I lied. All right, we've got Reagen at the bottom with 600 points. We've got Nick with 1,200 in the lead, and Vanessa just right behind with 1,000 points. So this round, the point totals are the same for each question. So we're going to move right on. We'll let Nick pick first as he is the leader. He's got the most points right now. But first, let's go over the question or the rounds or the topics that we have right now. All right, so we've got horror movies. However, this is celebrities who got their start in horror movies. Then we've got famous Georges, just like famous Michaels. It's celebrities with the name George. First and last is about words that have the first and last letter that are the same, like noon or Hannah with an H at the end. And then again, we have Wisconsin trivia for the not week of heart, the Wisconsin trivia. All right, so let's get started. Nick, take us away.
I'm going to go with horror movies for 100, Summer.
Alrighty. Horror movies for 100. Known for his role as Danny Zuko in Grease, he also played the character Danny in the 1975 film The Devil's Reign. Reagen.
John Travolta.
And there she is, scoring some points. What's the next category that we're going to go with?
Let's go horror movies for 200.
All right, horror movies for 200. Before she was the captain of the Rancho Carne Toros cheerleading team, she acted beside Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise in the 1994 film Interview with a Vampire. Vanessa.
Kirsten Dunst.
Correct. 200 points to Vanessa, and she's picking the next category.
Oh, let's do first and last 100.
First and last. This bird of prey, named Striker, serves as the mascot for UWL. No, judges, you're going to have to let me know who that one was. All right, Reagen.
What is an eagle?
Correct, an eagle. All right, what's our next category?
First and last for 200.
All right, first and last for 200. The branches of this weeping tree reach toward the ground instead of outward. Judges. Reagen.
Willow.
Willow, the weeping willow tree. Alrighty, what do we got next?
300 first and last.
300 first and last. This best-selling and iconic cookie is sold in over 100 countries. Reagen.
Oreo?
Correct, the Oreo. Reagen is sweeping this category right now.
We'll take 400.
400. The green variety of this snake is considered the largest in the world, some reaching as long as 30 feet and as heavy as 250 pounds. Nick.
An anaconda.
Anaconda is correct. 400 points. Alrighty.
Sorry.
Where are we going?
Famous Georges for 100.
Famous Georges for 100. This George was commander-in-chief of the colonial armies during the American Revolution and later became the first president. Reagan.
George Washington.
George Washington. That is correct. Quite a famous George, if I do say so myself. All right, what's the next category?
Georges for 200.
Georges for 200. This George is known for his battle with boxer Muhammad Ali, but perhaps also for his line of grills.
George Foreman.
Yes, correct. George Foreman. Nick. All right, Nick, what's your next category?
Famous Georges for 300.
Famous Georges for 300. In a 1970s sitcom, this George lived with his wife Louise and was busy moving on up to the east side of New York City. Nick.
George Jefferson.
George Jefferson is correct. All right, where are you going to go next?
Famous Georges for 400, Summer.
All right, famous Georges. In a 1990s movie, this George was a lost baby who was raised by talking apes and became king of the jungle. Nick.
George of the Jungle.
George of the Jungle is correct. All right, we are sweeping the categories. We've only got one left of famous Georges. What are we going to do next?
Wisconsin trivia for 100.
Oh, all right. Our capital city of Madison is an isthmus which rests between two lakes. What are the names of these two lakes? Reagan.
Lake Monona and Lake Mendota.
Correct. 100 points to Reagan. All right.
Horror movies for 300.
Horror movies for 300. Before his job as a shrimp boat captain, this actor played Elliot in the 1980 film He Knows You're Alone. He played a shrimp boat captain. He didn't really become a shrimp boat captain. He also met the president several times. He must have had about 13 or 14 Dr. Peppers in this movie at one point in time. Mama always said life was like a box of chocolates.
Still going?
Nick.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks is correct. Alrighty, moving on. What are you going to pick?
Horror movies for 400.
Horror movies for 400. Before he started collaborating on movies with Tim Burton, this actor played Glenn Lance in the movie Nightmare on Elm Street. Anyone? He also starred in the television show in the 80s, 21 Jump Street. He was in Alice in Wonderland, and he was a little bit crazy. Nick.
Johnny Depp.
Correct. Johnny Depp. Alrighty, so, moving on, what are you going to pick?
Wisconsin trivia for 200.
Wisconsin trivia for 200. Most scholars concur that the first European to visit what became Wisconsin was what French explorer? Anyone? Let's have a guess. Come on, guys. I'll read it one more time. Most scholars concur that the first European to visit what became Wisconsin was this French explorer. Clearly, we didn't have a Wisconsin history class in elementary school. Just kidding. It was Jean Nicolet. Jean Nicolet. Alrighty, so moving on. I believe Nick.
Trivia for 300 once again.
All right, 300. Green Bay is considered the oldest city in Wisconsin because it was the first place that European settlers discovered. What city is the second oldest location that explorers established in the state and is considered the second oldest city? Nick.
Eau Claire.
No. No, Claire.
Okay.
Fun fact, I grew up here. Reagan.
Prairie du Chien.
Correct. It's Prairie du Chien. It's French for Prairie of the Dogs, in case you guys didn't know. Pretty fun fact. All right, Reagan.
First and last for 500.
All right, first and last for 500. Closing out the category, we have got, let's see, where am I? The division of mathematics involves probability. This division of mathematics.
Statistics.
Statistics is correct. Reagan reaping in 500 points. All right, what's the next category?
Famous Georges for 500.
All right. Being a previous sexiest man of the year, this George... I'm going to finish the question and then we're going to go to the judges because that was a pretty fast thing. This George has done anything from performing surgery in the ER to stealing millions from casinos in Las Vegas with his crew. All right, Nick.
George Clooney.
George Clooney is correct, getting 500 points and closing out famous Georges. Moving on, what are you going to pick?
Horror movies for 500.
Horror movies. Just 1 year before she starred in the film Labyrinth, aside David Bowie, this actress played Jennifer Corvino in the film Phenomena.